Hey everybody, it's Dr. V. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to go ahead and do your weekly Twin Flame, Divine Love, Soulmate, Sacred Sidekick, whatever language or label feels right for you. So go ahead and see what the energies are. First of all, thank you to everybody who has liked, commented, subscribed, and shared. I really appreciate it. If you want to book a private reading, the information on how to do that is in the description box below, or you can find it by clicking the little icons in the bottom right corner of the cover photo. And so, yeah, one thing before I get started, and I won't talk too long, is that we are in Venus retrograde. So this is a time where people can expect to see, have people from their past coming back, exes popping up, revisiting old relationship patterns. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of those energies and just be aware that if that's happening, if you're having dreams, things like that, like I've been, it could be why. So Spirit, please use me as a clear channel for communication. May the messages that come through be in the highest good of all those concerned. I draw a sacred circle around this space, setting my ego to the outside. So only the messages that come through are those in the highest good of all those concerned. And so it is. All right, so starting off with the Mythic Oracle, and I'm going by Carissa Mulatto, and I'm going to pull 2 cards for the Divine Masculine and 2 cards for the Divine Feminine. So let's just jump in. Divine Masculine, Dionysus and Aries battle. So he's in a battle for freedom. I said he, and I don't mean to genderize it. Divine masculines can be feminine, it can be in a male or female body, or in a gender fluid, or however you conceptualize. So however you identify. They're in the battle for their freedom right now. That's literally what's happening. They're in this space where they are working. They've been facing some karmic cycles. They've been facing some behaviors, some limiting behaviors, some limiting thoughts perhaps. And they've been really wrestling with how to handle it, what to do. Do I want to go in this path? Do I want to go in this path? And so it's literally right now, they're in a fight for their freedom. Aries is the god of war. And so I'm going to read this to you because it feels important. Aries is here to remind you that you may need to take a step back and see what is occurring in your life. It is dangerous to immerse yourself in the heat of battle without a sense of how and why you're there. It is equally dangerous to remain oblivious to the need for battle when you're in danger of losing yourself and your ground. It may be necessary to fight at this time, but you must understand what you are fighting and why in order to choose the most beneficial course of action. So what I'm getting from this is just literally that right now, it's like the masculine needs to wake up. They've been asleep at the wheel for quite a while, and now it's time to wake up because this is a fight for their, I don't want to be extreme or dramatic, but it's like there's a lot at stake here. It's not just their freedom physically, but we're also talking about spiritually, like refusing to learn the lessons and resolve the karmic, sorry about that, can really screw people up. And then you have to do the same lessons over again the next lifetime. Like, no thanks, I'd rather not. So that's really what that energy is. And then with the Dionysus, this is about transcendence. It's about rising above. It's about coming into the state of freedom. So it's, the masculine has been in many ways caught up in just in a mundane routine, living life kind of by the rules, doing what people tell them to do, doing what they think they're supposed to do, and it's become just kind of rote and routine, and there's not a whole lot of excitement, there's not a lot of freedom in it. And we're not meant to be caged souls. We're not meant to be trapped in this lifetime. And that's what's happening right now, is they're really wanting to break out of that, break out of the mundane, break out of the routine, and step into something more exciting, something that brings them back to life. But in order to do that, they're going to have to battle through these old cycles that they've allowed themselves to be stuck in. And so that's the overall energy of the masculine right now, pretty intense energy. So moving this aside, let's see what the feminine's bringing. So we've got Demeter and Hestia. You guys, I swear this is, like, it's so funny because this happened the last time that I did this, use these cards. They were both for the they were both masculine cards for the masculine and feminine for the feminines. Like I tell you, I say it all the time, you cannot make this shit up. It's bizarre. So the feminine's in a place of harvest. Okay, the feminine is in a place where if you look at this is just a beautiful lush card. It's like the energy is that it's harvest time, of course, and it's the fall. So the fall is there is some harvest. I mean, think about it, like the you see all the cornucopia and the celebration and that, you know, the harvest celebrations that are happening. So the feminine is really in that harvest cycle. This is the energy where things have felt dry, okay, where it's felt like things have been barren for a while, things have not been going, things have not been fruitful. Maybe things aren't quite what you want them to be, but now you're stepping into a time of abundance and harvest. So it's really important to allow yourself to be in that energy, to let yourself receive, because it is important right now. It is important to be able to be receptive and to be fluid with those energies that want to come in. Open yourself to receive. The interesting thing is that it's like if you've been in a time, if you've been working really, really hard, maybe even on this connection where you've just been really working hard and have been investing a lot of time, energy, resources into your counterpart or into this love connection, into this twin flame, soulmate, divine counterpart journey, and you've been feeling like you haven't been getting a return on your investment, it feels like there's some things that are going to shift for you now. Again, I'm not going to say that means that your counterpart is going to come back or that there's going to be any kind of reunion. There will be some, because there are some people that are coming into union. But what I do mean is that some of the efforts that you've been making will pay off. It's sort of like working out, right? It's like you can work out for, I was talking to somebody the other day, a friend of mine who was feeling discouraged because been working out, eating really healthy for a couple of weeks, and hadn't noticed any change on the scale. And I commented to this friend and I said, well, you know that sometimes it takes time. Like it'll take usually it's like on day 17, after you switch up your eating habits and start exercising, your body will release some of the water retention and so on, some of the other things. You'll notice the shift then. So you have to be patient. Now this is time, okay? It's time that what all you've been doing, the work that you've been putting in, has not been in vain. It might have felt like it. You might be feeling like my friend that was like, well, I've been doing everything right for the last few weeks and I'm not seeing anything. In your case, it's been a lot longer. You've been doing this for quite a while, investing, meditating, praying, whatever it's been, and now you're going to see some payoff. There is going to be some harvest that you're going to reap from this. And Hestia's home, this is about the, creating like this peaceful home. It's like when I see this card, I think about being a kid, and we had a wood burning fireplace in our house, and it was like this. I just loved that. It was one of my favorite things to do, was to light up the fireplace and just sit in front of the fireplace and stay warm and cozy. And that's kind of like the season that we're in right now, where it's getting colder outside, depending on where you are in the world. And now it's time to make stews and soups, and it just is a very cozy, staying close to home kind of energy. So feminines, for a lot of feminines right now, are really working on taking care of their home, taking care of that energy, making sure that the home space is what they want it to be. This could also be partly in preparation for harvesting something, maybe harvesting a relationship with somebody, maybe manifesting a connection with somebody that maybe it's not your counterpart, but maybe you're calling in a soulmate that is going to be a part of your life, and you're going to feel very settled and at home. So this is about making sure that the space that you're creating for yourself is secure, it feels peaceful, it feels warm. You don't want to be in a space where you feel out of balance or uncomfortable. So it's really important, feminines, right now, to spend time doing that. Decorate your room if you need to, do some other things. It doesn't take much to switch a room or a space around to make it feel more home-like, okay? So it's really important to set that space where you feel excited and you feel nurtured. So moving that aside, I'm going to use what are these called? The Santa Muerte Tarot. Fabio Lestrani, I believe, is the creator of this deck. And I'm not going to read reversals today. I've just not been feeling the energy of reversals, so I'm going to read all of these in upright. And we're going to just see what the connecting energy between the divine lovers is right now. Okay, so we've got the Star, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Lovers. Oh my goodness, all major arcana. Buckle your seatbelts, guys. It's going to be an intense week. So we've got the Star. That is a card of hope. It's people are feeling hope. That's what's connecting the two right now, is the space of feeling hope, of feeling like maybe not all is lost. Maybe things can come together in a more meaningful way. Maybe we can actually do this thing and it's going to be something really beautiful. So that's very exciting. Very, very powerful card. It's like people are feeling alive again. There's this burst of energy toward positivity and feeling like all is not lost. So there may be some kind of breakthrough that's going to happen this week where you feel better about things. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is again about cycles ending. So we've gotten 2 cards so far about cycles. You know, what was that? The card that we just had, the Harvest, Demeter, I think is it was, sorry. But that's another card about cycles. And this is a card of cycles. The Wheel of Fortune is like, you know, sometimes the Wheel of Fortune spins and it lands in your favor. Sometimes it's not so much. Sometimes you land on the, you know, Pat Sajak spins and you land on the trip to the Bahamas, and sometimes you land on bankrupt. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. But what's happening right now is the Wheel of Fortune is spinning again. Something is happening. And so just be prepared for it. Be prepared for things to happen, and also be prepared for cycles to end. Okay? If you've been in a cycle, if your counterpart's been in a cycle for a while, it feels like those things are coming to an end right now. It just feels like right now is not the time. It's not the time for things to continue being drug out. So things are going to have to be changed and healed. We've got the Lovers here. So this is primarily a card of love and connection and feeling that sense of abundance and feeling a lot of love around. It's also a card of choice. There are choices that need to be made. And this doesn't necessarily mean about choosing a partner or choosing something else. What I really get is about choosing love. And choosing love means that you always ask yourself, what would love do? You know, however you choose to define love. I like the definition given by Bell Hooks in the book All About Love. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't read it to you, but it's a very thorough definition of love. And so if you choose love, you're choosing a life of love. It could be that you choose the Bible thing, love is patient, love is kind, you know, whatever that is. But I'm really getting this about choosing love, okay? It's about staying out of the space of fear that we can often get into when our 3D reality doesn't look the way that we think it ought to or the way that we want it to. So I'm suggesting right now that people make the decision to literally stay in a space of love, to choose love all the time, always, and not allow ourselves to get in a space where we give up on ourselves or give up on love because it's too hard. This could also suggest that a new love is coming into your life or an old love is coming back. So let's look at what the masculine is bringing right now. So we've got 2 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. So the masculines are really trying to stay in this space of balance, okay? This is a card of, you know, those butterfly wings have to work together to fly. And so this is a card of really staying in balance and staying in tune. And a 2 is often, I see a 2 as like, you know, 2 of Hearts, union, connection kind of card. So the masculine is really in this state of trying to stay balanced. They're also ready to take some steps. This is like, the wands are about passion. It's about forward motion. It's about moving things ahead, doing things a little bit differently than what they've been doing in the past is what I'm really picking up from that. Following that path, following that passion, and taking that going forward motion, okay? Taking positive action, making steps and making decisions and taking action to improve yourself. It's kind of like this burst of energy where they may start to feel or inspired, wanting to do things. It could also suggest the beginning of a new relationship, maybe, or wanting to come back to an old relationship. That's definitely a possibility. Or maybe even revisiting when your relationship was new and the way that they felt and how excited they were. But they're also in this Nine of Pentacles energy, which is slow. It's molasses in winter slow. It's not moving at like a super fast pace. Like they're not, this is not the energy of somebody who's going to just come running out of the gate and like taking charge. This is someone who's going to be slow and deliberate and methodical. And so I wouldn't expect the masculines to make any major fast moves at this point. It feels like they're just kind of plodding ahead. But it's good that they're not stuck anymore. Okay. It's good that they're not like circling the same mountain. So what the feminine is bringing is the Ten of Pentacles. Wow, beautiful. The Nine of Swords and the Sun. This is amazing. So the feminine is bringing in this Ten of Pentacles, which, as some of you might know, is like this really positive energy. This is like, as you know, happy home, happy life. It's almost like this is as good as it gets. It's like where you feel abundance everywhere. So when you look around your life and your house and you're like, wow, I'm really pretty happy with where things are. I feel good. I've got good friends. I've got, you know, whatever that is, you're just feeling very abundant. So it feels like the feminine maybe in the past was feeling a little bit down, like that wasn't a possibility, or maybe things weren't going to happen the way that they were envisioning. And now this energy is like, you know what, things can happen that way. Things can work out in my favor. I just need to let it happen. I need to release my, fears and go ahead and go toward that, because we have this Nine of Swords card, which is it's like getting out of this space of being isolated and closed in. Okay, so it's like feminines, if you've been isolating, if you've been like closing yourself off, if you've been you know, it's one thing to go within and like be in a space of isolation, like retreat, you know, for spiritual purposes or to refocus. It's another thing to be in avoidance. And so if you've been avoiding or isolating yourself because of your feelings have been too overwhelming, or you've just been feeling some kind of way, it's really important to get out of that, because this energy is not good. It's not positive. You have to really shift that. Make a decision to reconnect, to reach out to your friends, you know, make phone calls, go out to lunch, grab coffee. I've been doing that a lot more in myself, intentionally reaching out to my close friends and saying, hey, do you want to go have coffee this week? Would you like to have lunch? Do you want to go to the pumpkin patch? Whatever. You know, let's do something like physical connection. And so if that's where you've been, it's really important, feminines, for you to get out of that. Start reaching out and get out of this place of isolation, because the sun is shining on you. This is the most positive card in the whole deck. The sun wants to shine upon you. It's like spirit wants to pour out blessings that you can't even imagine right now, but you've got to open yourself to receive it. You've got to let yourself receive that. The sun is shining on your life. Everything is like, things are going to start moving in your favor in so many amazing ways. Like opportunities are going to start coming up. I can feel like people getting new offers, job offers, promotions, unexpected sums of money from inheritance, or maybe a debt that somebody owed you and you never thought you would see. And then suddenly you're like getting a letter in the mail or a check in the mail. Like, here's a settlement for that $35,000 that you were waiting for. And you're like, damn, I really get that. Like, things are really working in your favor. So don't get stuck in this. Okay. See what you want, see the energies, see things working out for you, and feel that way even before it happens. So what is ahead for this connection? We've got the Eight of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Page of Cups. So the Eight of Pentacles, this is working, it's dedication, it's this energy of continuing to be dedicated and dedicated and intentional about what it is that you want to bring, what it is that you want to create. It's working hard on your life and your gifts. It's balance, it's prosperity, it's like luxury, and again, abundance. Okay, so just be careful that you don't get into any kind of hoarding energy. Okay, so it's like if you start feeling really great, a lot of abundance is coming in, make sure that you have an outlet for that too, that you're giving back equally. I want to make sure, I think it's really important to say this. It's very, very important to make sure that you're as good at giving as you are at receiving, because if you are too much into the receiving and not good at giving, that's not a positive energy, that's out of balance. And so it's really important to make sure that you stay in that state of balance. Yeah, so one of the spiritual principles that I've learned and I think is really valuable is what is called tithing. And it's always about making sure that you set aside a portion of your money, your resources, your time, whatever, and that you dedicate it, you give it back, or you give it out in other ways, other acts of service. So that is what this card is saying to me, is that I really feel like with all of the great things that are going to start coming in for you, things that are going to start happening, it's a very real possibility that you could end up, if you're not careful, going into a space of keeping too much and not giving, and not being like, not having that flow energy. So just be mindful of that. Then we have the Empress. I really feel like the feminines are going to kick ass this week. I feel like the masculines are going to be a little bit more of a struggle space, whereas the feminines who have been doing their work and have been consciously working through this energy and this journey are going to really start coming into themselves, really start to see things in a really powerful, positive light. The Empress is the divine feminine. It's nurturing. It's powerful, confident, secure, really feeling, like you got your shit together and you know what you want and you're on the right path. This is that energy of, those women that you see, it can be men too. So let me clarify, the people that you see, that you see them walking like in the grocery store, and they just have this magnetic energy about them, and they're just like, they look like they've got the world on the string, and they're even, no matter how old they are, or like size, attraction level, you sense that energy, and it feels very appealing. It feels very powerful. I feel like that's the energy that's coming right now. That a lot of you are going to start really magnetizing people and opportunities into your life as you feel more confident and powerful, and as you choose love. Choose love for yourself, choose love for humanity, choose love for everything, for your partner. And when I say that, I'm literally saying, like, because this is a card about nurturing. It's like, if you really loved yourself, what would you do? How would you treat yourself? If you really loved yourself, would you go to the gym more regularly? Would you walk regularly? Would you eat more vegetables, meditate, sleep more, whatever that might look like? Whatever, like, literally ask yourself, what would love do? And nurture that. There is this Page of Cups energy, which is, as you know, cups, well, you may not know this, and some of you probably do, but cups are about emotions. It's about love, emotions. This is it's sort of an immature energy. Pages are not like, a queen or a king that's like advanced, but this is definitely a person who is honing their decision making and ability to self-reflect. What I'm getting is that people are going to start stepping into higher levels of maturity this week. There's going to be some self-reflection that's going to be going on about, what is it that I've been choosing? Have these choices been in service to me? Have they been limiting me? Do I need to do different things? So there's going to be some time of reflection. You may get some things, like I said, it's Venus retrograde. So it could be that you start looking at the choices that you've made in the past, and you start making different choices. You start saying, hey, you know what? I've been doing this particular thing for a really long time, and it hasn't been working out for me. So I'm going to choose something different and choose a new path and see how that works. Because if I want a different outcome, I'm going to have to take a different approach. So really great energies ahead for what I'm feeling. So I'm going to move these aside. And we're going to get 2 cards from the Mystic Shaman Oracle on what is blocking this connection. And we're going to get 2 cards on advice. how do we unblock it? So blocks, we've got a witness, the witness in reverse and the flow in reverse. Interesting. All right. This is the Mystical Shaman Oracle by Alberto Viodo, Marcela Lobos, and Colette Baron Reed. So the medicine from this card is: acknowledge your preconceptions, ideas, and feelings about the situation you are in, but resist the urge to change any of it. Do not fall back into your controlling patterns. Instead, take a few breaths and connect with the joy of not having to perform. Hold space for the world to keep spinning on its own. Y'all don't have to control this connection. That's what this is saying. Too many people have been trying to control it and micromanage this situation. And then we've got flow in reverse, and it's literally saying like the same, almost the same message. It's echoing it. Do not try to push against the river or swim upstream right now. You can trust that when the time is right, your dreams will begin to take shape and you will be invited to dance with destiny. Right now, however, you must relax. This is not the time to bang on doors that refuse to open. Whatever obstacle is in front of you right now, trust this is for the highest good. It is an opportunity to regroup and reconsider your choices, and you must trust that your intentions will take form in time. Consider this time a gift. Beautiful. So the advice. We've got the drum and the spiral in reverse. The drum says, the drum invites you to take the next bold step in your journey. The forces of heaven and earth are aligned behind you, supporting effortless action. This is the feminine principle, guys. Remember, the masculine is the hustle, the feminine is the flow. This is not the time to push against the river. That's like the second time that this one came up. The current will take you exactly where you want to go once you jump in. Collect your power tools and summon your courage, because it's going to be a wild and glorious journey. Allow yourself to be carried by the rhythm of what is really essential in your life. Beautiful. Then we have the spiral in reverse. It says, the spiral announces a descent to the depths and a rebirth. Allow nothing to get in the way of this process, as the time is right and the forces of nature are supporting you in this endeavor. Using stones, twigs, or yarn, build a spiral on the ground that is large enough to walk through at least 3 times. Enter the spiral slowly. Once in the center, offer to the earth the feelings or situations that you no longer want in your life. As you walk back the way you entered, feel recharged for your new journey. Beautiful. I would really actually suggest that you do that. In fact, I'm going to do that after I'm finished here. I'm going to do this exercise. So let me move these aside. We're going to get some messages of love from the Universal Love Oracle by Tony Carmine Salerno. Just want to see what the love connection is. Show me the love, Spirit. Show me the love. So the connecting love energy, transience, universal heart, and eternal flame. Every time I see that card, I think of the Bengals song. I know you guys probably think I'm cheesy as hell, but it's like from the 80s or 90s or something. But listen to it if you want to. So transience, it says it is possible to transcend a current difficulty by shifting your awareness and focus. Love can help you rise above all obstacles. Literally, like what I was saying earlier, choose love. It will help you see things from a higher perspective, and your problems will seem much smaller. Sit quietly in meditation. Imagine streams of crystal-colored light flowing down upon you, and feel this light pouring into each of the 7 energy centers of your body. So this is talking about doing some chakra meditation healings. who is it? Cassidy Kane has some energy clearing meditations on her website. She has a free twin flame toolkit. I would recommend downloading that and using those meditations. I've found them to be really helpful and help me stay grounded. So the universal heart, this is literally about being connected to all, to one love. We're all connected. We're all one in this experience. So this is literally saying, like, there's infinite creativity, possibilities. The only limits are the limits that we place on ourselves. Not to dismiss any social or, reality circumstances, because it's like you can't love and light your way out of oppressive circumstances. You can change your experience of it, and you can work on developing consciousness, but it's like we can't just pretend like that the realities of the world aren't real either. So being mindful that you are co-creating your own reality to some extent, and so be really aware of that, okay? That it is possible. Don't limit yourself. It's an infinite universe, infinite possibilities. And we have eternal flame, which is this, to me, it's like this spiritual connection. This is like when we talk about the twin flame mythology about being two souls split, which I'm not sure I completely agree with. But it's definitely about, this is an eternal flame. This connection has been forever, and it will be forever. So regardless of what happens in this lifetime, or what's happening right now in this moment, if you're truly a soul connection, you're gonna keep doing this for eternity. So what is in your counterpart's headspace? Abundance, sacred union. I love it. And the mystic. So abundance, they're starting to think about abundance. They're starting to ponder abundance. What does it mean to be abundant? How do I achieve abundance? Is what I'm doing now working for me? In terms of coming into the sacred union. They want that sacred union. They know what it feels like. It's like when you look in the face somebody else's face and you see God looking back at you, it's like, that's amazing, right? And they felt it, and they want that, and they're kind of trying to figure out like what they need to do to get back there. They're really thinking about it. They're thinking about this, and I get that they're seeing you in this way, that they may be seeing you as this really mystical kind of person. I posted this thing on my Instagram the other day, which, by the way, I started an Instagram which was The Love Revolution with Dr. V, and I'm gonna actually change it and just use the one Instagram. It's too difficult to try and manage both of them. So yeah, that's what. If you see that disappear, if you've subscribed or if you followed me there, I'll post something about that. Anyway. The mystic, it's like their own inner mystic is starting to wake up. So they may be having vivid dreams or getting visions or signs and synchronicities, but I do feel that they also see you in that way. It's like they see you as this kind of mystical person, that there's a certain magic about you, and they're kind of like, that Frida Kahlo quote, find a lover who looks at you like maybe you're magic. It's like they really are on a real level looking at you like you're magic. They see the magic that you have. It's beautiful. In their heart space, they're listening to, like that Roxette song, Listen to Your Heart. The gateway, wow. And balance, look at that, you guys. Yin and yang, beautiful. Listening. They are listening to their hearts. Finally. It's like their higher selves is trying to get messages to them, and they're finally listening. It's like they're finally opening up their heart or getting quiet long enough to hear the messages that are coming through. They're going to be going within and listening to what wants to come through, because it's been nagging at them for a while. It's like they know that there's something that they need to hear, but they haven't allowed themselves to at this point. They've been blocking it. Blocking their heart space. And the gateway says, a chapter in your life is coming to a close and a new chapter is about to begin. Surrender the past graciously and lovingly, and trust in the natural cycles of life. For all is held eternally within the arms of this great love that we call life. Remember that spring follows winter, and each spring is a full rebirth. Time is an eternal gateway to new beginnings. Feel the sacred, precious beauty that fills your heart. Even in sadness, a great light shines from within you. Be grateful for all that has been and all that is still to be. Beautiful. And what is it that they desire? Creativity, physical body, and expectancy. You guys, honestly, this, call me crazy, But it's like when I see all of these, it's like I feel like their secret desire is like really creating with you, like creating. This could be the first message that came through is like they may even be thinking about like what it would be like to have babies with you. Okay, if that doesn't resonate for you, that's fine. But if you had a connection where your counterpart, where you talked about what it would be like to have children, and they're revisiting those conversations, they're thinking about it, and they're thinking like, man, I wonder what it would be like. When I see creativity, physical body, and expectancy all together, it's like literally I really do get that primarily for those that this message is resonating with, is that they are really thinking like, what would it be like to merge and to create life with you in that way? And if it's not something that you're able to do or want to do, or it's not something that you're considering, this energy can also be about creating a new project. If maybe you had been working together, doing business together, maybe that was the nature of part of the nature of your connection, and it was really creative and abundant and fertile, and there was a lot of stuff. And so it's like what they really want is to be able to come back into that space of being creative and feeling that flow in the physical. It's like they understand to a certain extent that this connection is spiritual. They can feel you on the spiritual level, and so they understand enough on their spirit, in their spirit realm, that they know that they can feel your spirit still, but they're kind of like, okay, that's great and all, but I kind of want to feel their physical body too. Like I kind of want to feel like the flesh, okay? And they have a lot of expectancy. I really do get that they have this sense of expectancy, excitement, because maybe they're even feeling that they're coming closer to making a decision to take their act right pill and do what they need to do to come back into this connection in an honest and authentic and with integrity and being the king or queen that they're meant to be. So moving this aside, we're going to get some messages from their higher self. Ooh, too many messages. Okay. All right. So, first message. Deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. Next message. Friendship. Nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship, and your love life will dramatically improve. Playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together, and remember, love is the great healer. And acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are. There is no point in trying to change that which is beyond our control. Very true. So let me move these aside. And I'm going to pull a message from the Rumi Oracle. These readings always go longer than I intend them to. This is the reading that I do, my private twin flame readings. This is the format, the material, the way that I do it. But those readings are about 30 minutes. And they always end up being like 45 minutes on the channel. That's all right, though. I hope I'm sure it is beneficial. Sure as heck helps me. Okay, so one message, Spirit, one final divine love message from the Rumi Oracle. So we got Passion of the Wild Red Mother. These are really, really long, so I'm probably not going to read all of it because it's just literally like these things are like 4 pages long. So it says, don't ask the conscious ones about the wine. Behold the glowing effect on it in the eyes of the drunks. By Rumi. I didn't mention that. This is the Rumi Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Bring me your unreasonableness, your insanity, your love without reason, and your passion. The passion that makes you crazy and shoos all logical restraint from your mind. Leave your ordered thoughts, sensible plans, and appropriate attire at my door. Put on your animal fur and sing to me in gibberish. When my beautiful goats die, I make drums from their skins, and their spirits live on in my passionate play. When my birds drop their feathers, I gather them up and put them in my hair. Come drum with me as I place feathers in your hair, and we honor the spirits of my animals, of your animal nature too, wild and free as you are in the truth. Stick your tongue out and growl at those who try to tame you with guilt, shame, and fear. Do you think I give a damn for any of their silly games? Those games of reason and logic? Of course you should do it this way, they say. It makes sense, but I care not for what makes sense. I care for what brings you alive. Beautiful. Oh, you blazing angel, you are being invited by the wild red mother to participate in the dance of divine passion. You may be an activist, a poet, an advocate for justice, or a writer, content in your own world of dreams, or perhaps you are a healer, devoted to the liberation of the suffering of others and hungry to commune with ancient wisdom. Perhaps you are all of these or some other exquisite and an amalgam of holy energy and form. Whatever your nature, there is passion in your heart, a fire for something more powerful than fear can become the fuel for your life journey, if you accept the invitation of the wild red mother, of course. This is the invitation to lay aside despair, to lay aside doubt in the capacity of the human heart, even in your frustration and impatience. It is time to quit whipping yourself and others, no matter how noble the intention behind the whip may be, and start dancing instead. Beautiful, beautiful messages. So, follow your passion. That's the message of this message. Follow your passion. Screw what's right and wrong and what makes sense and what's logical. Follow your freaking heart. Life is short. Do what makes you come alive. So I hope that this reading resonated. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk with you all soon. Take care. Bye.